just to make it easier for them because they've all got full-time jobs. You've got more derbies to get some interest from the fans. Although, with Cass, it's still not clear whether we can watch the women's games even now.
What, even the game coming up on Saturday?
They're playing Leeds on Saturday, aren't they? But I'm not sure where they're playing. I think they might be playing at still be playing at a neutral ground.
The Rugby Football League website gave the suggestion that they're playing at the Jungle.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, Wigan have announced that we can start going to watch the women's games at Robin Park, but they don't have a game for a couple of weeks. I think it's Castleford actually, our first proper home game of the season. So in this final stages of the season. So that good news that some spectators will start to be able to get in, but bad news that they're not really.
Yeah. I think it's lost a little bit of momentum, the women's game.
Yeah.
I understand the Twitch deal. I understand they want to treat it more professionally, but in essence, what it's meant is that you can't watch your team and you can't follow your team. So I think that there's been a lot of interest lost, or it might just be that we lost all our players to York, so we're not winning every week. It could be a bit of both.
Yeah, is it positive that this one was streamed through the R League app though? If I hadn't already have had plans on Sunday,
this was on the R League app.
I would have sat and watched this one for sure, but friends are over who live overseas who've managed to come over for a bit, so other things happened. Right, that is other results covered, and a little bit of a digression into the women's game, which I think we can dip back into in a little minute too, as we go into the prediction. Predictions time, and fingers crossed again for a full slate of games, but I suspect Hull FC will not be travelling to Catalans on Friday evening. But it's round 18 of Super League and it starts on Thursday evening, so let's talk about that game first. It is live on Sky, 7:45pm kickoff for St Helens hosting the Castleford Tigers. And Rob, I will give you the floor. What's going to happen?
Well, obviously Castle are going to win. We haven't won at Saints for 31 years, and showing my age again, I was at that match. We've beaten them once in a pre-season friendly, and we won there a couple of times last year when everyone played there, but it weren't against Saints. So of course I'm going for Cass by 10. We're going to get revenge.
I mean, obviously when you're not playing Saints there, it's not the same as playing Saints there, who are a better side than most of the other sides. But still, getting those games there last year, I think might demystify some of that. Some of that you're thinking of all those games that they've lost there and lost away at Saints. I think for the players it might not loom that large for them. That said, they're coming up against a better side.
We proved at Wembley with a full side we can match them, and we did match them at Wembley for long periods of that game.
Yeah, for 40 minutes. Yeah.
We've got Watts back, we've got Griffin back, we've got Blair back. We're still missing Shenton and Truman, but I think this is as close as we're going to get to a fully fit side this season. So, and on the back of a very good performance against Leeds, Saints have got the mandatory virtually 1-21 in their squad anyway. And also, I think we need it more. I don't think we can afford to lose another game if we are going to get into the playoffs. So, I'm going to stick with it, Cass by 10.
Yeah, Saints have got their sort of 1-6, haven't they, in place, and Dodd will continue his role in place of what's his face, Farge. Lees and Bentley come back in from injury, so maybe they might be a bit rusty, but it's good for Saints to get them back in. Sorry, because I don't want it to be this way round, but I just think Wolves' miserable, boring St Helens side will win by 10 points in a game that inspires no one apart from maybe one or two flashes from St Helens before they put the queue on the rack.
I think you predicted against Cass last week though, didn't you? And you were wrong.
Oh, I was, so let's hope I'm wrong again. What's next? Friday 6:15pm, Catalans should be hosting Hull FC in the south of France. Another Friday evening game for them. They could have played on the Saturday. I think there was no reason why they couldn't have. So I don't understand that one. Do you know what? I'm going to fact check myself on that one to make sure that that's right. But do we think this will go ahead? I think is the main prediction to make for this one, with Hull FC having COVID issues again.
Well, it depends when they started, really. But with these games being backed up, normally it's a sort of 10-day. If you've been pinged, it's 10 days, and if you've actually positive, it's longer. So I would say no, and also I know that they say that it's not down to who you're playing, but I think teams make less of an effort to put together a team to go across to Catalan or Saints or even Wigan than they do say Lee. So I would say it's not going to go ahead, but if it does go ahead, Catalan's going to win by 20.
Yeah, I think Catalans will win by 2 or 3 scores as well if it does happen. I don't know why and how long some of their players were missing last week. They did pick up a few injuries, but on their home patch, with those young French players showing that they can play at Super League level, I just think Hull have been pretty poor coming out of their other COVID breaks that they've had this year. So yeah,
I think it is being played. It is Friday, and yeah. I think it's because they're on Sky the week after against Warrington on the Thursday.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Catalans by 12, I'll say if it goes ahead. Weird kickoff times on Friday night, not the bog standard 7:45 across the board, because Salford against Huddersfield is 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Having watched Salford last week, I don't. Wigan's pack were able to get on top of Salford's pack. That says to me that Salford's pack ain't great. Huddersfield to just have it for me. Huddersfield by 6.
I think Salford's going to win this one for the simple fact that they'll want to shove it up Watson's arse. So I think they'll want to prove that they're still a bigger club or a better club than Huddersfield. And also Huddersfield were crap. I know they won in the end, but to be 18-0 down at home to Wakefield, then there's stuff wrong. So I'm going to go Salford by 10.
I just think there's a couple of more experienced players that I trust in that Huddersfield side more than some of the Salford side. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll do some sort of thing for Mossop retiring, and that might give them some inspiration before the game, with Mossop not being able to give them that leadership on the pitch. But I think they lack leadership outside of that. So yeah, I'll stick with Huddersfield, even though you put forward a good case. Friday's Sky game, 7:45 p.m. It is playoff chasing Hull KR against playoff chasing Wigan Warriors. I've got to go for Wigan. The Hull KR one, we should not have let Hull KR turn us over at our place. We were totally out of sync for that game. I do think Hardacre will be starting at full-back. I expect Bateman to probably start as well. Farrell and Gildart look good to be back in the side. So and we won't get anyone back from the band yet, will we? But the forwards looked okay last week. They weren't a problem for Wigan. So I think Wigan by 8.
I'll agree with you. I think Wigan by 6. I think Rovers are. They have played well. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be where they are, but they haven't played. They've missed a lot of games, haven't they? I think they've played the least out of everybody, and they only just beat a very, very poor Lee side. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Wigan by. What did I say? Did I say 6 or 8?
6, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Wigan are the only team to have played every game, so they played the most games, and Hull KR have played the least games with 13 games. It's just remarkable that at this, with this far into the pandemic, we've got one team that's managed to play all of the games this season in a top tier league. But there you go. Friday at 8 p.m. Lee versus Leeds. Leeds with Luke Gale back in should find a way to win by, say, a point or 2 at Lee at the very worst. So I'm going to go Leeds by 10. Newman
I'm going to go Leeds
to strike gold.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Leeds by 30 because Lee are shit and Leeds can only bully shit teams. So I'm gonna go Leeds by 30.
I just don't see him bullying him. I think they'll let some tries in Leeds with a couple of injuries in the pack, but overall it's it's going to continue what we've seen all year.
Lee have scored a lot of points this season, haven't they? I think they've scored more than quite a lot of teams. But
well, they've scored more on a per game average. They've scored more than Wigan have scored. I think they certainly had at the point where we played them, but then we put a big score on them. But yeah.
So yeah, Leeds by 30. Don't let me down.
Fair enough. Final game, Sunday 3 p.m. Wakefield versus Warrington. Will Wakefield have the bounce back that people think teams have after they change their coach, or will Warrington get back to winning ways after a little bit of an enforced layoff?
I would say no. I'd say Warrington's going to win by 2 scores. So Warrington by 12.
Yeah, I'll go Warrington by 18. I think they'll have, because they're going into this game. They weren't the cause of their call off, were they? They won a tough, tight, close one against Leeds that will have put them on a high. I think they'll have had a good week's training after that, and getting to not have to play that short turnaround game against Hull FC that they would have had to play. I think just sets them up for a win against a very low ebb Wakefield side. So Wire by 18. Women's Super League returns for its sort of end of season separation period where you've got the best against the best and the rest against the rest. And Castleford versus Leeds kicks all that off Saturday at 4:15 p.m. As we were talking about before, we think it's at the Jungle. We're not sure if fans will be allowed to go, but I assume you're buoyant for this one, if not necessarily confident against the Leeds side that have been a step above Cass this year.
Yeah, I think Cass have lost. I think they've lost too many players. They lost the quarter side. I think we could have coped if it had been before the season, but when it's 2 games in and you can't really replace them, or even sort of know what you've got and work your combinations around that. We haven't been bad, but we're not a patch on the side we were before the lockdown. So I'm only going to go Cass by 2.
Fair enough. York versus St Helens versus York, is the other sort of top tier game this weekend, with Wigan being the one of the 5 that gets the week off. Then we've got Fev playing Huddersfield, Bradford playing Warrington, and Wakefield playing Warrington. I apologise, and Bradford. How that can't be? Oh, that's showing games from. Hold on. Start again. I've looked at the dates of these matches. There's only Wakefield versus Warrington and Huddersfield versus Bradford this week. Huddersfield versus Bradford's on Tuesday at 7:45, so maybe that one's going to be on Twitch, and then it's the 21st of August that the proper games get back into play. So there you go. I find this has been the problem with this split, where they've you talked a little bit about, you think the momentum's maybe come out of the women's game a little bit. I think because they ended their normal season early and changed things up, which very good reasons for it and stuff like that. I think it really has undone the momentum, and I was convinced they were back this weekend, but clearly the top teams aren't, which is a shame. So I guess the game of the week will have to be Wakefield against Warrington, see if Wakefield get their first win of the season. But
I must admit, I was surprised I'd not seen anything about it on the Cass Women's Twitter feed, because they're pretty good.
Yeah. Well, whatever we said 15 minutes ago, ignore, because that was bollocks. But
I think you're definitely going to have to edit this bit out, Mark.
No, I'm not. It's not how it goes. No.
Okay. Well, in
From
that
when
case,
I say
think,
right,
I think
right, it's
Cast
this
Women
section
Leeds
to when I
Women is gonna
say
be a
okay, we're
draw.
talking about the next section. No editing happens.